This Hangout features Alex Mandossian on the topic of joint venture marketing and creating strategic alliances.
Hey friends, it's Ray and Maria here. We're the happily married hosts and producers of the Strip Live television talk show based out of Las Vegas. We're founders of VegasNetMedia.com.
We're also creators of VIPMastercast.com and VIPShowcase.com, where we feature some of the world's most successful and influential people.
We've had the great honor in personally interviewing and showcasing hundreds of top celebrities, entrepreneurs, and industry experts, including people like Donald Trump, Tony Bennett, Sir Richard Branson, Christina Aguilera, Stevie Wonder, and even Bart Simpson.
Okay, it was the voice of Bart Simpson. So just to give you a little bit of background, our show began roughly 7 years ago as a huge production inside the B Theater at Planet Hollywood, and we aired on broadcast television. So now our show is utilizing the good old Hangouts to broadcast from the red carpets and live events, thanks to meeting Alex Mandossian. And it just happens that he is our guest expert today.
And let me tell you, coming from broadcast television to going online was very enlightening for us, because I'm going to tell you, when we first started broadcast, we knew absolutely nothing about the industry. But here's the thing. People said to us, and I think it was our own belief, that to have a real talk show, you really need to be in a big studio. It needs to be like an Oprah-style show, and you need to be on some network television. So that's how we got started. Spent a lot of money. Really, we spent all of our money because 7 years ago, we lost it all. We lost our home. We lost retirement savings, the whole works, for this show. Because, again, we didn't know what we were doing, and we wanted the big television production. However, there was a National Association of Broadcasters convention a number of years ago, and the president gave his president-elect speech. And during this time, it was the atmosphere was all about fear. It was all about what this evil thing called the internet is coming, and it's changing our industry. Well, the interesting thing is we actually came from new media and internet marketing. So we're just sitting in the audience, we're saying, if everybody in broadcast is trying to get out of broadcasting into new media, why are we trying to get into broadcast? So we made a decision at that time 7 years ago to embrace online. So now we have our own online network. And meeting Alex Mandossian recently has been revolutionary, because he actually introduced us to what you're watching right now, and that is a Google Hangout on Air, where we could, you can as well, at a very low cost, broadcast to the world. Really, I mean, take your message and put it out to the entire world. So we're very excited about that. So our set is fairly simple. Now, we said to Alex, should we bring in all our lighting units and fancy cameras? He said no, because I think it's important that people see how easy it is to do Hangouts like this. So just wanted to give you a background of where we came. Now, the question people often ask is, how did you guys be able, with no money, be able to create this media presence and interview some of the world's most successful people, hundreds of top celebrities, entrepreneurs, and industry experts? And the short answer is, we got very good at authority positioning. And what that means is being able to set up a presence where you can create a win-win situation for someone else. Now, there was a lot of techniques and strategies that we used to be able to do that, but the one we're going to talk today about is joint venture marketing. We were able to create relationships with PR agencies, and we showed them that we can interview really well without intimidating celebrities. Our show is actually a positive television talk show, so they like that, because we don't air dirty laundry, we don't look for the dirt, we're simply looking for positive messages. As we got known for that and we created these partnerships, the PR agencies started to open up the celebrities to us. Now we're going to have Alex Mandossian talk more about how he created, or how he creates, joint venture partnerships, and how you can use some proven methods, revolutionary strategies to create your own partnerships to become an authority in your own industry and help build your business.
So just so that you know, so every week, every Friday, we're going to be having these hangouts where you could come on, chat with us, tell us your thoughts, share who you are, because we want to know who you are. In addition to that, we're going to be, and probably later this fall, we're going to be utilizing YouTube Live.
Yes.
And that's where we're going to be going to the red carpets, doing backstage things with some of the amazing recording artists. So you'll be able to come in and take a look at how we're actually interacting with the celebrities and the PR agencies, and you kind of get the behind the scenes glitz and glam. So we really want to encourage you to come back every Friday now. Please understand this is our very first one, so be nice to us. Be nice.
So here's the deal. We don't really know what we're doing yet. And thanks to Alex, he's going to teach us the ropes on how to use Hangouts for marketing and how to actually build your own television show. You can all have your own television show, or if you want to use it simply for amping up your brand or maybe some group mastermind meetings or family get-togethers. I mean, Alex will talk more about that. The sky's the limit is what you can do with this. So again, we've come from very highly technical cameras and switchers and audio boards, lighting units, to scaling it down to something pretty basic that anybody can do. So I'm hoping that you're excited about this. Maria had mentioned the YouTube Live. Well, that's cool too, because when we first started, as I mentioned, after we found out that new media was the way to go, we created an alliance with a company called livestream.com. And they gave us 10 HD channels at the time, which was really cool, cutting edge 5 years ago. So we started using that, and again, a learning curve, a lot of technical elements that we needed to learn. And then we used another program called Wirecast, which was by Telestream. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is, fast forward a number of years, and YouTube now partners with Telestream to create, for the YouTube Live platform, the Wirecast software. So Alex mentioned to us the other day, he said, would you guys want to do the YouTube Live for me, since you're already the experts at doing live broadcasts on the red carpets?
As faculty.
As faculty. And we said, well, he's trying to encourage me to go learn YouTube Live and take that on. And I said, Alex, relax. Let me tell you, we've been doing this already, and we've been doing it at such a high level that this is not going to be a real challenge for us. It's going to be a piece of cake. So the exciting part is we can now go to the red carpets instead of you coming back and watching on demand later after we've done it, because we've got hundreds of videos of us on the red carpets in Las Vegas interviewing the celebrities. But how cool is it that we're actually on the red carpet live, and it's kind of scary, isn't it? Because some of the things and conversations that happen.
Pretty stressful sometimes, and we don't want to ever make anyone look badly. So when we're doing in post-production, after we interview a celebrity, let's say that celebrity was having a bad day. Come on, let's face it, we've all had bad days. Sometimes we just don't want to talk to anyone. We want to go, crawl under a table. And what we do is when we interview them, we kind of feel like they're having an off day. We'll actually post-produce so it makes them look good because we're positive. Now, when you're live, if there's F-bombs dropping, if people are stressed out of their minds, it's going to be a little more difficult to cut that out. So I'm just hoping that it won't have to be that case. That everyone's going to be happy, and we just make sure that everybody knows it's live.
Yeah, that's our disclaimer. We're not responsible for anything that happens. We need a good lawyer.
Yeah, that's true. But they say anything goes, right, on the red carpet.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to tell you about a format that we've created that we're not using in this show, again, because we're kind of learning and just feeling everything out. But a format that we want to use for future shows is the program will be an hour long each time. So on the hour every Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific time, that would be 4 p.m. Central time, that you could come on, and for the first 15 minutes, it's going to be Maria and I doing what's called, first of all, a welcome, of course, and then following that, we're going to do what's called a celebrity showcase. Now, the celebrity showcase is where we will take one of our previous interviews on the red carpet, like For instance, Sir Richard Branson, where we had a wonderful, approximately 4-minute interview with him on the red carpet, and it was really fun, and it's entertaining because he's a great guy. And then in the end, we asked him some success tips, some entrepreneurial tips. So there's some real nuggets in there from some of these guru entrepreneurs and even some successful celebrities. We're asking them what their success secrets are right there on the red carpet. And because we have all that archived, we want to include that early on in the show. So each time you will get a celebrity showcase to be able to learn from one of those celebrities for 2 to 4 minutes long, approximately. Now, the reason we haven't done that on this show yet is because, again, we got to make sure the technology's working. I know there is a way to play a YouTube video over top of this. We just need to learn how to do that. So we're messing about right now. But we do have a schedule or a template, a format in mind that we want to flow each show. And the reason is because you can come back each time and kind of know what to expect. So after the first 15 minutes, we do what's called an expert showcase. And that's where we bring on a featured expert, and probably going to be someone in the area of authority marketing, and because that's our expertise. So we're going to bring on those experts so we can continue to pick their brain and share that with you. And that will be a 30-minute segment. And during that segment, we're gonna just yuck it up a little bit. For the first part, just find out what their background. We want to get behind the scenes to find out what made these people hugely successful. So we're going to ask them some personal questions, and not necessarily about their business, maybe about their family, or maybe about how they think, and just trying to get in behind to see what this person's life is like outside of what we know them as an expert in their industry. Then we're going to do a segment, what's called a VIP showcase segment. It's 10 minutes of them looking directly into the camera, giving the best teaching on their subject, the absolute best information. Now, they are not winging it, because we have actually worked with them prior to, and we've done the research to find out what it is that these people can share that is absolutely cutting edge, the best in the market. And I'm talking the things that people will charge $25,000 for their masterminds for. This is what we want to ask them during this segment called the VIP showcase. Now, Alex is going to have a segment just like that a little later on. We're going to ask him for 10 minutes to just look into the camera and spill the beans on how to strategically create strategic alliances and joint venture partners marketing. And he's going to talk about an incredible product that he has right now. And as I mentioned earlier, we're messing about right now. For all you educators out there, you know that the term messing about means you don't quite know what the show looks like yet. So you're experimenting, you're trying different things. And as I said, we've kind of got a general format right now, and we're going to go with that. But as this show progresses, we're going to get more honed in onto how it flows. And anytime that we have a tough moment, a blooper, a technical challenge, we'll be calling up Alex, because he's the expert on this. So he's helping us in many ways right now. First of all, he's introduced us to this wonderful technology, and he doesn't like to call it a platform, and he's very right about this. He calls Google Hangouts and Google Hangouts on Air a social influence engine. And the reason and it's a good term, because the reason you want to use that term is because Google is not, and Google Plus and Google Hangouts and Google Drive and all the other Google services are not on one platform. They are the Google empire, all working together collectively, synergistically, to be able to create a phenomenal technology that we're experiencing today. So when Alex said to us, you guys need to take your celebrity stuff and your red carpets and put it out to the world, and there's this thing called Hangouts, we said, okay, where do we start? He gave us access to his program. We did the training. This was only a couple of weeks ago, folks, so we're moving fast on this. We have now brought the Strip Live, which was predominantly in Las Vegas and on our own network, and we're now introducing it as of today officially as a Google Hangout. And we're going to be working again closely with Alex as a faculty member for YouTube Live. So if you guys aren't on this, if you have not jumped on this technology and this platform, I don't want to use the word platform, but sorry, Al. If you haven't jumped on this yet, I'm telling you right now, the time is right. The time is right now because you can ride a wave. You can get in front of this thing that is going to be absolutely massive. So on that note, I'm going to pass it over to Maria to bring in our featured expert.
Well, I can't tell you how excited, how grateful we are. We are sorry. So grateful for our next guest, and this is again our first hangout. And when we met Alex Mandossian a few weeks ago, we knew about him. He's an extremely successful entrepreneur. He's helped generate over $400 million for his strategic alliance partners and clients. He's a pioneer in the internet marketing world. And I think why I most like him is because I think he believes his proudest accomplishment is being a father of two. So he balances his life. He is connected. He is an incredible businessman. And I just want to say hello to our new best friend, Alex Mandossian. Hey, Alex, thanks for being here.
Well, I just want you to know balance is like this. Balance is movement, right? So if you think balance is a state, it's not. But thank you for the intro.
Well, today our topic is on joint venture and strategic alliances, and you know that in the past we had built our strategic alliances really differently because we were working with the PR agencies. But now we are working with people like yourself, and then you're connecting us with joint ventures, affiliates, etc. In the internet marketing world. So first of all, before we get into this topic, is there anything you want to add regarding your background? Because you know your background is so extensive. I didn't know where to lead everyone.
Well, first thing is, do you hear the feedback? Yeah. So what I want you to do is go ahead and mute the button on the upper right-hand side, and when it's muted, I'll go away. Okay, mute. There we go. So now there's no echo. So one of the things about my background is I've made more mistakes than any other living human being in the area of Hangouts, and this is one mistake I've constantly made, which is the feedback. Now, in the area of feedback, what you want is sound integrity, and both of you have both video and sound integrity, but with this medium, there's so many different pieces of equipment, and you know, Google is not really PC or Mac friendly. It is actually more PC friendly than it is Mac friendly, I will tell you that. I have plenty of arrows in my back to prove it, figuratively, but the echo is one of those things. So both of you can't be wearing earbuds, which would be the case. In a condition like this, you would just mute every time I talk, and if I'm talking, I'm coming through your speakers, and then your microphone is picking that up. Now, you will never forget this as long as you do Hangouts. All it takes is just one time, but that's the extensive part of my background. Mistakes are great. The more I make, the smarter I get. Buckminster Fuller told me that, and actually told the world that. And one of the great things about making more mistakes is that you learn through experience what not to do. And if I could impart any piece of wisdom, experience is not the best teacher, it's the only teacher. So that's the only background I would add. And I'm going to mute now as you talk.
Okay, cool. So just to get that right, Alex, then I needed to then unmute myself, because if I didn't unmute myself, you would not be here. You would see my lips moving. Gotcha. Okay.
You're a good learner.
So, Alex, I want you to talk about the early days, because you know people know you as an online marketer, but what they don't realize though is that you have been revolutionary in the internet marketing business in some of the software that has come out, and what you're doing right now. You know, when I spoke to you a month ago or so, when I spoke to you, I asked you why you chose Hangouts to make your next project rather than webcasts, because you were one of the, and I'll let you describe this in more detail, but you were the one who created the teleseminar movement and the telesummits and a whole bunch of other software. So, hey, if you're listening up, folks, everything Alex touches turns to gold, and it turns to tremendous success. So he's shaking his head no, but everything I've seen him get involved in, it becomes successful. So he is quite the visionary. So feel free, Alex, and then I'm going to click you back and mute myself.
Actually, you know, with your beret, you look like Marcel Marceau, so being silent isn't all so bad, to be honest. Okay, well, here's what I've learned in innovation. I don't believe in originality. Nothing I do is original. Nothing. In fact, that's the way I start some of my videos. Nothing I do is original. Originality is way too dangerous. You can ask Steve Jobs that. Steve Jobs, in his first original go, failed at Apple. It's when he innovated and took an MP3 player, which, what was it? It was just an MP3 player, but it was sexied up as the iPod and democratized iTunes into the music business. That was his second act in business, and he cleaned Bill Gates' clock. Bill Gates took Windows 95, which he ripped off from Steve Jobs, as far as I'm concerned, right? Both these guys are billionaires, so who knows the truth. And I don't believe in originality. I don't believe that originality is important. I do believe in creativity. So I'm all about high intention and low attachment. So when we say the early days, now that's not original, by the way. I mean, this is using a flip chart, right? High intention, low attachment. It's using a flip chart and taking cards and making it part of Hangouts, which is something we innovated, but it certainly is not original. So when you say early days, I started in 1999, which I guess makes me a grandfather. Every year in internet marketing time is 7 years, so I should be dying soon. I think at this point I'm over 100-something. And I was the first to ever hold stuff up online. I had my Burt Reynolds pose, which I never can hear the end of. I had my, pointing, holding up stuff, and I learned that from Sesame Street, because when they first came out, they knew that if they put two virtual characters together, Big Bird and Cookie Monster, the kids would fall asleep. Two humans like us, they fall asleep. But put a virtual character with a human, Cookie Monster with a human being, and they're interacting, that was interesting. So I took the virtual, a picture of me interacting, but physical picture of me with something virtual interacting with the website, pointing and pushing and all kinds of stuff, and you end up seeing a bunch of pictures. And you can see a lot of them at alexonlinepics.com, P-I-X, Alex Online Pics. You don't go there to rip them off, but they're there. Many people go there and they copy. That was my first beginning. Then I wanted to put audio online, because I thought, what you're doing now is not as interesting as what I'm doing. Audio, right? Forget the video, because audio, there could be dead time learning. Vic Conant was is still a good friend of mine at Nightingale Conant, and you can learn dead time in the car. In other words, it's dead. You're in traffic. You're listening. So I got audio online, and we started with Audio Generator. That was Rick Raditz and Armin Morin. Then Instant Video Generator before YouTube. Again, Rick Raditz and Armin Morin. And then Marketing Makeover Generator. With that, I think in 2006 we generated $1 million in 27 minutes. That was amazing. And then the virtual seminar week that Rick Raditz and I did, that was the first ever. I did 49 interviews in 1 week. Most of them were live. And then Rick came out with Instant Teleseminar, which I was his #1 affiliate for. And it goes on and on and on. I came out with the Ask database, which was a Socratic way to poll. It was the first crowdsourcing tool. They didn't even have a name for it. So now Hangouts are not new, but what I'm doing with Hangouts are innovative. I eventually went into what people knew me as the teleseminar guy, and I couldn't brush that brand off for at least 5 years, 7 years. The Larry King of teleseminars. I know Larry. I've been to his house, and he goes, "What's this teleseminar thing?" So now it's about Hangouts, and in the early days I got maybe 6 people on there. One of them was a family member usually. Now we get over 1,600 people. This Hangout, the first one, will be the least amount of people. So, congratulations. You should have seen my first one. Yours is way, way above mine. And then eventually it gets more and more. So it has no half-life. It just generates, more interest. So that's my history, and congratulations in going one-to-one and having social conversations, because most people in the business you're in, it's not like they don't have the foresight. They're not as malleable and they're not as willing to look bad as you guys are in the beginning. That's the definition of success. The highest tolerance to look bad. I have a very high tolerance. I'll go up against you guys any day. You guys look great.
I'll take you on the challenge.
The unfortunate part is when we're muting, you don't hear us laughing as Alex is going on. Good job, man. Okay, so as I was saying in the beginning, the reason you want to tune in to this guy right here is for a couple of reasons. Number one is he's cutting edge and he's created success. So when he says Hangouts are going to be a big thing, I say yes. I'm with him. I will toggle on to his side. I will be like I am with Maria, attached at the hip with Alex. So there's room.
Sorry, Alex.
There's room. Alex, which side do you want? So what we'd like to do, as I mentioned earlier, is we want to have a segment where you can have the expert all to yourself. Because right now what we're doing is we want you to feel that you've had a little bit of a piece of an expert behind the scenes, where you saw a little bit of the personal life, because that's what a lot of us want. How many of you have listened to Tony Robbins for years and you heard about his 400 square foot bachelor apartment, and all of a sudden he's this mega giant on stage, but we've never heard, like, who are you behind the scenes and how did you get there? People want to know. They want to know some of the hardships that you had. They want to know something about your family. So that's the first segment. As I mentioned, as we template the show out, you're going to start to see a format. If you keep coming back, you're going to see that there's a method behind our madness, why we do everything. We're not just here out talking and entertaining ourselves. That's part of it. We are having fun, but we want to make sure that there's some strategy behind it. And so what we've just done is we've taken the expert in and we've looked a little bit behind the scenes. We've given you a taste. But now the next segment we call VIP Showcase. That's where we're having the expert just look into the camera, and for 10 solid minutes, they're going to teach the best material that they have on the subject. And the subject today is joint venture marketing and creating strategic alliances, of course, so that you can then build your authority, you can get the partnerships. And as I mentioned earlier, the reason we were able to get all the celebrity interviews with almost no budget and no background whatsoever is because we discovered the power of video and what we could do with video to position ourselves to create a win-win. I'm not talking win-lose. I'm not talking trick people. This is not fake it till you make it. This is about finding a true benefit to the other party that you could provide value. And in that case, we had an opportunity early on to interview Stevie Wonder in his room for 10 minutes. And we had a most amazing interview where Stevie talked about the power of God as an influence in his life during his early childhood days and struggle. And it was a powerful interview, and Maria had such a connection. And when we got that interview, and I'm not going to go into the story how we got that, but again, it was authority positioning, authority marketing of how we got that interview. But when we got it, we leveraged it now. We now started calling people up and said, would you like to see an interview of Stevie Wonder? Would you be interested in that? And they said, wow, that was great. Maybe you want to interview our other celebrity. Oh, okay. So we got into another one. Now we got 2, and then we got 3, and then we got 4. And all of a sudden, we're becoming a little bit of a mini mega media empire. And I say mini in our eyes. It's very small in relative to someone like Oprah, but mega compared to what we thought we were capable of doing. It was incredible. We had to pinch ourselves to realize that we just came out of Stevie Wonder's room and got an interview. Then it went on to Donald Trump, and then it went on to Paris Hilton, and on and on. So this was about joint venture partners. This is about getting that value, finding the value that you currently have, not your weaknesses, your strengths, and then finding out how you can give that value to someone else. And when they feel that you provided them value, they're going to start opening doors for you. And I can't think of anybody better than Alex to look in the camera right now and teach you how to create joint venture partners. So Alex, it's all yours, and we will mute ourselves before you get started. And One moment, I think we muted Alex.
No, I muted myself out. See, I made a mistake. Can you hear me now? Yes? Okay, good. So I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1 so we know when we start. This is a Hangout, so I want to be transparent. 3, 2, 1. Hit it. How to generate world-class joint venture partnerships. That is the topic for today. My name is Alex Mandossian. I am on a Hangout with Maria and Ray. And this is a product. We're creating a product out of a segment that they have created. I think it's a fascinating idea. It's an info product making empire. It's something you can do right now at home or in your office or wherever it is you're going. You can do it on your iPhone or smartphone. It really doesn't matter. That's what the power of Google has done. Guess what? Joint ventures, let's start with the 2 joint ventures you'd be doing business with. Number 1 is Google. Number 2 is YouTube, the 2 most valuable properties online. Facebook's not on that list. You have the number 1 search engine. Actually, I'm going to say something controversial. It's not a search engine. Google is a content provider masquerading as a search engine. And then you have YouTube, which I believe is the largest search engine in the world. And then, of course, you have Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. Google Plus is a part of Google. Will it eclipse Facebook? Well, it's growing faster than Facebook is. I don't know if it'll eclipse. It's already eclipsed Twitter at the time of this recording. Who cares? Facebook is not owned by Google. Google owns G+. Okay, so that's why people are just throwing away their blogs and the other social media platforms because they want a joint venture with Google. And that's the topic of this class, joint venturing. So the first question, and I have 4 bullet points. What's the difference between a joint venture partner and an affiliate? That's number 1. And I'm reading this from the bullet points I have at VIPmastercast.com. And then next is, how do you build an army of affiliates with a proven joint venture strategy? Next, how to create a sustainable pipeline for pre-qualified leads for your business. Sustainable pipeline. And then how to get started leveraging the power of joint venture marketing. Now, these are just benefits and how-tos that you hear all the time, but I'm going to bring some specifics and precision into it. So, first of all, what's the difference between a JV, that's a joint venture, and an affiliate? This is my definition. I'm not saying that this is the only one, but this is the one I go by and my tribe lives by. An affiliate generates sales. So an affiliate will go out and get a sale for you, or an enrollment, or a registration, whatever you want to call them. I'll call it sales, even though it's a bad word to some people. It's a sale. Nothing happens until something is sold. Albert Einstein said nothing happens until something moves. Well, in sales, something moves. In this case, merchandise or services. So I don't care if you think if it's a bad word. It's a sale, okay? I sold my mom on the fact that I don't like certain types of food, like string beans. I sold her into it, and until 12 years old, she bought it until that's all I had every single day. Couldn't believe it. So anyway, as we come back to the 2 types, JV is someone who attracts affiliates. Affiliates are people who attract registrants. So not all affiliates are JVs, but all JVs are affiliates. Let me repeat. A JV will attract registrants and will attract other people who sell, which is an affiliate. An affiliate just attracts people, not just, but will attract people to enroll people into your program. Now, whether it's online or offline, there's many, many sales organizations out there, from Revlon to network marketing. Doesn't matter. But this is double tier. This is 2-tier program. The first tier is the affiliate direct sales, and the second tier is the JV. That's how I'd recognize the JV and the affiliate. Now, there's 2 types of JVs and affiliates. The first type is called a transactional person. That person is about the numbers. You got to find out what these people are by the way you ask them questions. The second is relational. Alex, what are you, transactional or relational? That's a question. They're muted, so I'm going to tell you. I'm both. I first ask questions of a JV partner I want to sell for, or someone who wants to sell for me. If they're talking numbers, if they're talking commissions, if they're talking percentages, I'm going to talk to them about transaction and give them a pro forma verbally. If you do this, you'll get this. Here's your conversion rate. We've tested it, blah, 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 blah. Now, for a relational person, and this is just 2 ways to put people in buckets, you talk to them from the heart. Now, the head or the heart, there's no right or wrong. But if I have a relational person, I say, you know what? I hope we have a long-term relationship. I hope this relationship lasts forever no matter what the numbers are. because I'm all about having fewer JVs because it's a lot more simple and easy for me to do business. So I hope you're one of them. Now, with the transactional person, he doesn't care if it's a one-off or if it's a forever. It doesn't matter. But you got to know who you're talking to so that you don't get offended, right? What is your default? That's what you want to ask. Am I transactional or relational? If you ask me, my default is I'm relational. You know, so are these two, Maria and Ray. They're relational, I think, because they default at the heart. Doesn't matter it's good or bad. Doesn't mean that we're going to live longer, although I do believe we will. It does, though, matter, so you know how to deal with us, because I can go to the head immediately. I can hang. I've closed the CEO of Walmart within 10 minutes because I went straight to the head. And the way I did that is I talked about the risks first. I talked about 3 risks, and then I got a huge gig from them in 10 minutes, right? And I'll tell you that story another time. Next, how to build an army of affiliates through a proven JV partnering strategy. Well, it all comes down to the transparency triangle. You'll notice I teach the way I like to say I teach, experientially. Experience is the only teacher, not the best one. You see M, Y, and H. Now let's go with M. These are all W-I-I-F. All W-I-I-F. In the first part is, what's in it for me? Okay, now you may think that's the most listened to station in the world, but W-I-I-F-M is this part of the triangle. I didn't have enough room to put all the letters, so I just put M there. Ray and Maria, nod if you understand what that means. Okay, very good, thank you. So at the very base, when I'm pitching something, right, you can call it whatever you want, when I'm enrolling, I say, this is what's in it for me. And then after I'm done with that, I go to the why. And the why is, this is what I think is in it for you. And then, you know, most people don't even talk about what's in it for you. They go, well, they say what's in it for you, what's in it for you, what's in it for you, and they never say what's in it for me. And then you go, well, what's in it for you? And they go, nothing. I'm doing this just for you. And you know how that's BS, total, complete, piled high and deep, PhD, BS, okay? Doesn't work. So when I approach someone, I'll tell you how I do it. I go, well, here's what's in it for me. That way he's not going to question it anymore. He's going to question whether he thinks I'm telling the truth, but he's not going to question that I'm aware. I'm saying this is what's in it for me. What's in it for you is this. And then here's the key. What's in it for humanity? What's in it for humanity? So in the triangle at the base, what's in it for me? What's in it for you? What's in it for humanity? Let's take an example. If that makes sense to you guys, nod. Awesome. You will not hear it anywhere else. I made it up. I know this because I've never seen it anywhere, and I just taught it for the first time yesterday. And the reason I'm here teaching you because it worked. So it's called the transparency triangle. Why is it called that? Because I named that yesterday. And it just sounds good, alliteration. And what happens is with Jack Canfield, I wanted him to come on board to help promote the Hangout Challenge, hangoutchallenge.com. And you're part of the challenge. You're part of our faculty members. Now, Jack will say yes to me because we're friends, but you know the timing for him was not good. So as a result, and I'm very mindful of time, I want you to know. As a result, what he said was, I don't know. I said, look, here's what's in it for me. I'm going to get your face out there, and I'm going to get your face out there, and by getting your face out there, it's going to really help me generate more sales. And you're going to bring your people on board whom I would have never gotten access to, even though they know me because I interview you once a month. Here's what's in it for you. I want you to have a daily message which I can repurpose and chop up and put you into my curriculum. So everyone on the challenge knows your white hair and your audio, and I can put it in audio so they can hear you in the car. And then you'll make a bunch of commissions, and then maybe I can do a challenge for success principles. That's what's in it for you. What's in it for humanity is they can actually get a piece of Jack Canfield in the challenge, and they wouldn't have had that otherwise. I'm not a Jack Canfield, you are. That's it. So that is the transparency triangle. How do you create a sustainable pipeline of pre-qualified leads? Let me tell you. How am I doing with time? According to me, I got 4 minutes. Is that okay or no? Give me a number. 2 minutes. Fine. No problem. No problem. 4 was just a goodbye. All right. So the way, are you having fun? The way we create a pipeline is we bring on affiliates and JV partners first, and we turn them into registrants. Because people eat their own cooking. I don't go after cold people. I train people to be affiliates, and I try to get them in as our registrants. I have thousands of affiliates right now. I'm going after them to get into the Hangout Challenge. Isn't that weird? Isn't that different? And I do that through a couple ways. They're all A's. I do it by appreciating them. I do that by acknowledging them. I do that by making sure they have the right attitude. You want to bring in affiliates and joint venture partners with the right attitude. You can always train them for skill. I do that on an accelerated training basis like I'm doing right now. I'm going faster because we got like 1 minute. And I use alternative methods just like I'm doing right now, sending them postcards. And every answer I give them goes into a product. And that product becomes a new product that I can sell or give away as a bonus, which brings me to the final bullet. The final bullet is how to get started leveraging your joint venture program. It starts with a journal, folks. It always starts with a journal. So start looking. I'm talking old school. You see what it says? It says little black book of $1 million ideas. So in here I have all the ideas, all of them, for my Hangouts, and I've been writing these in here for about a year. This journal is going to be a bonus for the top affiliates in my Hangout Marketing Challenge. So that's a bonus, and it's also great for me to start one. And that, according to Alex, today is how you create wonderful and profitable joint venture and affiliate marketing programs. I hope I'm a good example for your other guest, and I nailed it right on time.
Woohoo! No. Oh, it's a little difficult for me. No.
Well, show your belly.
No,
Show your
that's
belly.
right. That's fine.
Maria's full term, expecting any day now.
Any day.
Woohoo! So our stress level is even a little higher, other than the Hangouts and a new baby coming aboard. Okay, so again, that was a VIP showcase. And here's the thing, folks. You want to join us every single week. We will have one of these with our featured experts. Now, once this is actually post-produced, it goes inside of our mentorship site, membership, or we call it a mentorship site, at VIPshowcase.com, where if you want full access on authority positioning and authority marketing, that's our program. That's where you can come in and you can get drip content. We don't overload you. If you come into this membership, don't expect to come in and just have tons of videos and audios to download, because we want to make sure that you're not overwhelmed. So we actually drip. The drip campaign, it actually takes you one video at a time. It's strategically delivered. So for the first 12 weeks, we call it VIP Mastery, and that stands for Video Info Product Mastery. So during the first 12 weeks of the program, you're actually learning step by step how to create a video info product. And we're not talking a big, huge product here. It could be 2 minutes, but a video info product that positions yourself as a leading authority and credible expert in your industry. Now, this is catering to authors, speakers, coaches, consultants, entertainers, really anybody who wants to be a form of a celebrity or an authority in their industry. So if you liked what you saw here, you realize the value. Now, our membership varies in price, but our high end is $10,000. So you got to realize that inside that membership, we have golden nuggets just like this. So if you want those nuggets and access to those, you go inside. If you want the freebie approach, nothing wrong with that. Freebie approach is join us on the Hangouts every Friday, and you'll get access to that information. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, so Alex, I'd like for you, oh, no, we're just going to close up with you. I wanted to have you discuss the Hangout Marketing Challenge really quickly on what it is, and also your upcoming event, because we're proud to be a part of that. We're going to be hosting and producing a red carpet, so I'd love for you to, and then after that you can go.
Okay. I don't want to, have a presence if, I was supposed to go, so I'm getting the format, and so thank you for that. Well, the Hangout Marketing Challenge is a challenge. It's a form of a contest, and it just happens to be about Hangouts. I've done more challenges online, I think, than anyone else I personally know. I've learned the challenge principle or concept from people and friends and colleagues like Bill Phillips of Body for Life and Joe Polish of Piranha Marketing, Ed Dale, who's in Australia, Russell Brunson, who's one of my teachers, and I was one of his teachers for Teleseminar Secrets, and I've seen Jack Canfield do it, many others, Brendan Bouchard most likely. The challenge concept is something that I've focused on and refined with some precision, and it's usually 90 days. It's a season. summer, fall, winter, spring. If it's good enough for Mother Nature, it's good enough for me. And what we're doing is the Hangout Marketing Challenge. HangoutMarketingChallenge.com. You can go check it out. That's not a squeeze page. You don't need an opt-in to go check it out. HangoutMarketingChallenge.com. And what you'll see is really an argument that Hangouts are here to stay and how to take your living room or your boardroom in your office and make it a literal worldwide projection room so that you can have your own TV show or Google Hangout show, which by courtesy of Google. So the reason we're having a challenge is we've given people to do, if they started from scratch, even if they're online, what do they need to do day by day? Now, you took the beta course. Imagine the daily stuff that you go, oh, I missed that. Oh, I missed that. There's always loss of translation. And so we have a daily 30-minute way to boost yourself on Google. No one's ever done it. We have the endorsement of Google and YouTube and many, many others. And it's like the American Idol. We have public point display. We have coaching if you want to pay for it. It goes all the way to December. It ends up at the Quantum Learning Center in Oceanside, California, which is Southern California. And that becomes the reunion. Now, these people are competing, hundreds of them. And then that's kind of the American Idol part of it. And then there's Shark Tank at the reunion, which means we're going to pick the top 5, and they're going to give speeches. And through YouTube Live, we are going to be broadcasting to the entire world inside of a Hangout, because YouTube Live is one-to-many, as you guys know, and you're going to be doing, and Hangouts are one-to-one, within living room to living room, boardroom to boardroom. We can put people together, but YouTube was designed for one-to-many. That's what YouTube Live is about, competing with Ustream and Livestream, etc. So, knowing that, I want to invite everyone to the reunion. It all starts with the HangoutMarketingChallenge.com. Even if you don't compete, even if it's out of your budget, even if you don't even care about Hangouts, because this is a way to get your message out to the rest of the world, at least take a peek at it. Because Maria and Ray will be competing, and we'll see how they do step by step. I mean, I think they'll be a baby by that time, so it should be fun.
Now, Alex, we wanted to talk to you sort of off air on this, but why not do it right on air? Because we're going to come in and do the red carpet. Why don't you describe what that looks like to us? Because right now we know we're coming in, we're going to do YouTube Live, we're going to have a red carpet, but you've got the vision. I'm already starting to formulate some ideas in my head, but you've got the vision right now of what you would like to look at, and share with the people what they can expect with that element of the event.
Well, the reunion, we're only having 150 people allowed to attend. There's 7 billion people. There's probably 500,000 who could qualify. Of the 500,000, there's probably 100,000 who could afford it. Of the 100,000, there's probably 50,000 I wouldn't want to be there. Of the 50,000, there's probably 10,000 who really want to get there but just can't. So that brings us to about 1,000, and I have to say no to 850 of those people. So of the 150 people who are going to be there, it's specific because we're going to have a live connection to the internet, and everyone's going to get an iPad, and they'll be typing in their notes in their iPad. You can bring notes too, but through a sponsorship, a $50,000 sponsorship through eventpad.com, we are going to be able to poll and talk to each other, +1 everyone else's posts in real time, and go out to the net. Never been done before. So grateful for the friends and family we have, and starting into that, we need a red carpet, and that's what Maria and Ray, that's what they represent. Not only the YouTube Live part of a faculty member, Lloyd, my audiovisual guy, will be through the camera produce the YouTube Live. I want you to see behind the scenes and do some directing in the background, but also we want to do YouTube Live coming into the event. So there's an event to the event, and that's what you call the red carpet. Through your influence, I'm sure there'll be some additional celebrities there, and the red carpet is just doing what we're supposed to do anyway. It's one of the A's, acknowledging people who matter and why. So by doing that, you'll be getting them before the event, and they're all excited, kind of like a celebrity red carpet, and then I'd like to do a red carpet afterward. Like after it's done, get them off stage. What'd you learn? What were your takeaways? So that we have a bookended, red carpet, which would add more meat to what you do from a content perspective, and really make us different than celebrities. There's a before and there's an after. So the anticipation So you can get someone who said, I can't wait, and then that same person is the after, I can't believe what I just learned. That is very unique. I've never seen it done before in that way, and I hope you two are the first to do it, unless someone steals the idea before then.
Well, let me plus that, Alex.
Good deal. Well, thank you, Alex.
When we put some of the world's greatest internet marketers on that carpet, we'll do exactly what we do here. We'll ask them their greatest success secrets. We'll capture that all on film, and we can share that with the audience after that. I mean, the event's going to be amazing live, but you'll have something else. And we're going to capture the minds and hearts of some of the biggest internet marketers on the planet. We'll be at Alex's event, and we'll capture that all there. So it's very exciting. And on that note, I'll let Maria.
Yeah, thank you, Alex, and thanks for being here. And just for all of you, we don't usually travel outside of Las Vegas just because we're already inundated with so much content and events that are here. But because we know where Alex is going with everything, and we're just thrilled to be working with him. We're actually going to pack up shop and bring crew and everything, and our little one at that time to his event. So looking forward to it. Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome. We have free childcare there, so we're doing it. We're going out of our way for free childcare. So not babies, but anyone over 3 years of age. There you go.
Thank you, Alex.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, now another segment. So what we just had here was the expert showcase. So Alex is now off the air. So what we do for future shows is we'll do a next segment we call Success Reflections. And Success Reflections is where we reflect on a teaching or a learning from one of the celebrities that we've interviewed in the past. And I'm just going to ask, now we don't have anyone specific right now, but I'm going to ask Maria, out of all the celebrities that we've interviewed, who comes to mind as someone who really touched your heart and that's created a lasting impression on you, that we've captured that on film, that it's sitting on right now, it's sitting online on our site, but we've captured it, that we can then introduce and bring up on each Hangout, that we can introduce it and discuss some of the learnings and teachings that we...
You know, there have been so many celebrities, but I think the one that really stood out for me was with Dennis Hopper.
The late Dennis Hopper.
The late Dennis Hopper, and it was right before anyone knew that he was sick. And he had his son there at, it was a film festival, and he was part of the film festival, I believe board of directors, etc. And he has been, we've interviewed him a number of times, and he was just so tremendously giving of his time, of his content. He actually recited a full poem.
Rudyard Kipling.
Yeah, from memory. And this was right before he was, and I would say within the year he was going to pass away. And you had mentioned that he didn't look well because of your medical background as paramedic firefighter.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, wow, nobody knew. And basically what we asked him was what type of legacy would he like to leave? And his son was there, and then we asked him what he's learned from his son. And the connection between those two, and obviously they knew that he was ill at the time, it was so emotional and kind and loving, and you know, it was just about being there for his family and being able to do what he has loved to do in the film industry. And what he learned from his son was really about creating that relationship, and it was very moving. So I would say that was probably what stands out. And maybe it's because I'm going to be a mom soon that I feel that emotional connection, because I think when you get older, you are thinking about legacy. You are thinking about, what is my footprint going to be in this world? Because it's not just enough to party and, you know, live the high life. You got to have a purpose.
Yeah, and that shows again the power of video, because we were fortunate enough, we were blessed to be able to capture that on camera, that the family could now have forever. Just capture a moment like that. So again, what you can do with video is so powerful. Yeah, he came to my mind as well.
Really?
Yeah.
But we're the same person.
Yeah, I think we do. We occupy the same brain,
Yeah.
which is scary sometimes. It's just that was a touching moment. One of the moments that I thought was really fun was, well, there's lots. I mean, there's so many fun ones, but one that was really I found intriguing was Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson was, first of all, you swear, when we asked him his success advice, you swear that he was on the stage with Tony Robbins all his life, because he was just on point, powerful. It was like he was a motivational speaker. What he brought up was just incredibly profound. But then we saw something that was magical. He was rushed. PR people were pulling him away. His plane was ready to leave. But there were some fans off to the side that wanted autographs. And he just went above and beyond, over to the fans, and he signed every autograph that he could, and he chatted with people, and he hugged babies, and it was, I said, now look at this guy. He just cares. He cares about people. So that's one of those moments where, wow, you see people like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, come on, wrestler and everything else. You expect him to be this really rough guy.
He's easy on the eyes. He's articulate. He's generous. I'm like, some people get blessed with, with almost everything. And the key success tip that he gave was having the right mentors, because he was on the path of becoming a thug and jail time and everything else. And he said that the right people came into his life that believed in him, and I believe that we all need that. We all need that person or people to say you can do it, because we all have that negativity in our heads, or that self-doubt. And when you have people who care about your success, like Alex, and we've had so many people in our lives that care about what we're doing, even when we failed over and over, you still have those people showing up, and that's what you want to create. So we hope that you join us on these Hangouts. Tell us, what you're looking for in terms of experts, or if you happen to be an expert, or you're a powerful joint venture person, let us know, because we're looking for those alliances and those partnerships. In fact, we're partnered with CEO Space International, so we're thrilled to be having a long-term relationship with them. We're at Lake Las Vegas 5 times a year at their forums, interviewing their experts, their keynote speakers. And in fact, that's how we met Alex Mandossian. Yes. So that's the key here, is stay connected. And, call it what you will, but these Hangouts are going to be phenomenal for your business, for your brand. If you're looking as a speaker to book more speaking engagements, to meet with those potential clients, this is such a fantastic tool. Yes, there's a little bit of learning curve, but as you can tell, once it's working, it's amazing.
So feel free to join us each week, every Friday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, where you can come in and capture some of these top celebrities. You can watch, you can learn from them, some of the top celebrities in the world every week. Now, if you want to join VIPshowcase.com and become a mentee of ours, it's a membership. Go there. Included in that membership is the 5 CEO Space events per year. So that's a nice added value bonus, because when you come in as one of our mentees, you can come visit us 5 times a year, take part in what's called the Exploration Weekend, is what we call it, where you can experience CEO Space for a couple of days, but you can also come on the red carpet with us, where we can teach you some video tips right on location. Come say hi, come hang out with us. We'll go on the strip and, see some shows and all kinds of fun stuff. That's what we do here in Las Vegas.
And just so you know, the CEO Space weekend encounter, that's a $2,500 value. So you're getting $10,000 the value if you come out 5 times a year, complimentary.
Yeah, and you get to see us.
I don't know if that's a great benefit, but hey, you don't have to come talk to us if you're there. But anyway, thank you for joining us. Thank you for allowing us to fumble through our first Google Hangout on air. We hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to many more. Best wishes to all of you. Continued success.
Bye for now. See you next time.